Yeah, I just wouldn't cook it.
Right, I wouldn't trust myself
chancing.
to cook it because
what? No.
I haven't heard. I don't know when is it right.
Time to eat.
Right.
That's my last meal. See, I just wouldn't know. Everybody would be screaming. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, Steve?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Yes.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
So I was living in Trinidad last year. And when I came back to the UK, people were asking me about Bob Marley and reggae and jerk chicken. And that's when it dawned on me that a lot of people who aren't from the Caribbean think that all Caribbean countries are the same. And whilst there are many things that make them quite similar, they are completely unique and vibrant in so many different ways. Now, this isn't a video saying one country is better than the other or anything like that. I love them both. And I know a lot of people who are from other countries like Guyana or Suriname or Barbados are going to be saying, yeah, we have that as well. And don't worry, I have a lot more videos coming soon. So let's jump right in.
Ooh.
Food is life in the Caribbean.
My man started this video off right.
Yes.
We talking about food off the rip. You know we love us some food.
Yes. But I love what he said about when he went back to the UK. People were thinking that, you know, all of the Caribbean countries are the same. Because we get the same thing here in the United States. A lot of places, a lot of people will just group the United States in one box. And us being from the United States, we know that it's different.
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's like its own little new country each state you cross into.
Yeah.
You know, like even us being next door, we always compare Louisiana and Texas because that are the two states that we have lived in. We're from Louisiana and we've been living in Texas for the last 4 years. So that's why we compare the two, because even though they're so close to each other, they are totally different.
100%, nothing less.
Totally. Okay, and they're both in the South, so they have similarities, but they're totally different. So I like that he said that.
For instance, in Texas, they don't do Mardi Gras. In
right,
Louisiana,
the children are not out of school. Wait, hold up. I think this was the first year that Houston was out of school for Mardi Gras.
Really?
Yeah.
I ain't heard about that.
They getting hip.
I ain't heard about
You know, they getting hip.
But all the other times, it was never a thing.
Never.
Yeah, it was a once, never, ever.
Yeah.
Food in both places is amazing. I grew up eating the foods from both countries, so I'm not going to pick between them. But if you love one more than the other, let me know in the comments below. There's so much fresh food in the Caribbean that uses all amazing local produce and herbs. It's really hard to go back to canned and processed food when you leave. It just doesn't taste the same.
I feel you.
There are so many similarities and differences I don't even know where to start. But let's go with curry. Curry is a big deal in both places, a legacy of the Indian heritage of the islands. Curry goat or goat curry is a favorite throughout the whole Caribbean, just like curry chicken.
Curry duck, curry crab.
Most popular meats in the Caribbean are probably pork and chicken. You'll find these two most commonly being cooked on the grill. In Jamaica, you have jerk chicken, and in Trinidad, you have barbecue chicken.
I'm so
They both follow a similar cooking style. However, jerk can be more traditional, often cooked in a pit on pimento wood and seasoned for a longer time with jerk seasoning. Barbecue chicken, often you see it with a repurposed drum, the same how you might see jerk chicken being cooked sometimes. For generations, meat was a luxury to the people of the Caribbean, so many of the meals people enjoy today were the offcuts: sauce, a preserved soup and vinegar base, black pudding, a blood sausage, and now maybe most famously oxtail. Now, you can't eat curry or meat without...
Now, we didn't heard of somebody saying they made the black pudding thing.
In the Faroe Islands.
No. Okay, I'm thinking about something else. I'm talking about blood boudin.
Oh,
never
blood
mind.
boudin.
That looked similar to that, right?
It did.
So that's what I just thought, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, the Faroe.
That's interesting. Okay.
Rice. White rice, rice and peas. Now, this isn't always true. But I found in Jamaica that rice and peas was more popular with kidney beans, and in Trinidad they use kungo beans, sometimes known as Congo peas or pigeon peas. Some other incredible rice dishes, especially in Trinidad, include cook-up rice and pilau, which I know lots of Caribbean countries enjoy some form of. One thing in Trinidad which you might not see much in Jamaica is roti. In Trinidad and other places like Guyana and Suriname, roti like sada roti, bus-up shot, or dal pari might be the most important food in the whole country. In Jamaica, you'll find some versions of roti, but it's a lot less popular. Of course, if you're on a tropical island surrounded by the ocean, you have got to have fresh fish.
Definitely.
Fried and steamed fish are both incredible. In Jamaica, you want to head down to the Helsha Beach in Kingston and get some snapper or lobster with fried festivals. Likewise, if you're in Trinidad, you need to head up to Maracas Bay and try the legendary bacon shark. Now, it's a good thing I don't live in Trinidad, because let me tell you,
every time we cover Trinidad and Tobago, they talk about this bacon shark restaurant.
That is like so good, like literally. Really
yes.
Good.
Now y'all kind of convincing me, because y'all know at first I'm like, I am not eating no shark.
But
I mean, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody makes it different. But I think it has like a secret sauce on it, right?
I don't remember.
I think one girl mentioned that it had a sauce on it when she went to the restaurant.
I don't remember, but we'll see. We'll see.
Need that.
I would eat this for lunch and dinner every single day. What they call bakes in Trinidad, kind of like bigger versions of what Jamaicans simply call fried dumplings or Johnny cakes. But some people do call them bake as well. These are like soft fried dough or fried bread, and they're so Moorish.
They have something like
now,
that
fear
in
not.
Nigeria.
If you are vegan or vegetarian, both countries have more than enough for you. Yam, cassava, sweet potato, breadfruit, dasheen, green banana, and plantain. You can eat these as a side or in meals like rundown and soups. Over in Trinidad, much of the food related to the people of the Hindu religion is meat-free. Foods like bhaji, which uses dasheen bush leaf, is kind of like a spinach. Then you have bodi or bora, which are green beans, and pumpkin takari, a steamed down pumpkin mash. They also have amazing Creole foods like kalaloo, a rich stew made from dasheen bush, okra, and pumpkin. But this isn't like what Jamaica knows as kalaloo, which is more of a simple sauté dish using the same leaves. Now, all of these greens too are used for green seasoning in Trinidad, which is used to cook and season nearly every meal. I don't know anyone from Trinidad or Guyana that doesn't use green seasoning, but it is less commonly used in Jamaica. Which reminds me, what do you call this thing? Shadow Benny, Shandon Benny, Bandania, Cilantro. I never heard of it in Jamaica, but in Guyana and Trinidad, you can find it at every single market. Now, one thing I didn't see at all in Trinidad, even though people told me did exist, was ackee. This fruit is quite hard to describe if you've never had it before. It's fatally poisonous before it's fully ripe, but once it is ripe, it makes amazing stews by itself, though it is usually paired with saltfish to make the national dish ackee and saltfish.
Yeah, I just wouldn't cook it.
Right, I wouldn't trust myself to cook it because
No.
I haven't heard. I don't know when is it right.
Time to eat.
Right.
That's my last meal. See, I just wouldn't know. Everybody would be screaming.
Yeah.
Why'd you eat it?
We'll just wait till we get to Jamaica for that.
I need a little more detail on how you supposed to properly cook that one. What is it? A fruit? A vegetable? What is it? Again, he says it's hard to explain if you haven't seen it or heard of it. So I don't know, y'all. We need to
so we wouldn't know if it's ripe or not.
Talk to us. Talk to us.
Oh, and everything is hot, real hot, thanks to the use of local chilies. In Jamaica, you have Scotch bonnet peppers, which are the most popular. And in Trinidad, you have bird peppers and even smaller ones like pimento. And for those who can handle the heat, you have the incredibly hot scorpion peppers, which, trust me, are absolutely no joke.
I don't know.
Now, let's get to the
fruit.
fruit.
That's hot.
Do I have to tell them the story about what you did at Wingstop?
What did I do?
About how you ate the atomic wings in less than a few, whatever time they gave you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you broke
the challenge.
Right. And I'm looking at you like, that's my girl.
You crazy.
Yeah.
And
it was
I did it when I was pregnant.
And you was pregnant.
I love spice, but they say it's like really, really, really hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a different level, huh?
Yeah.
You can take it.
Because if you're anywhere in the Caribbean, you should be eating fresh fruits at least once a day.
Or twice.
Now, mangoes. There are so many different types of mangoes. It's incredible. In Trinidad, the main mango I saw was green mango, which is often used to cook things like masala mango or make condiments like mango sour and cuchilla. Some of my other favorite fruits include guava, pawpaw, or papaya, sapodilla, or what some people call naseberry, soursop, which has many different names. You have chocho or chayote. You have jackfruit, which some people call kawa, you have the Ethiopian apple or the Jamaican apple, which some people call pomerac. And you have guinep, which some people call chenet. And then you have custard apples, sometimes known as cherry moya. Now, there's so much street food and local bakeries in both countries, so I'll just focus on my main favorites. In Jamaica, in any town, anywhere, you'll find patties. These are amazing flaky pastries, maybe loosely based on British Cornish pasties. You can get these in many flavors like chicken, fish, beef, veggie, and probably my guilty pleasure, which is cheesy beef. In Trinidad, these style of patties are harder to come by, but other things you're going to find much, much easier are things like doubles, pilori, and aloo pie. Likely because these are Indian heritage foods, and since Trinidad has a much higher percent of Indian population, that's probably the reason why. These foods, especially doubles, you'll find on every high street, every corner, every highway. Doubles, also known as bara and chana, chana being curry chickpeas and bara is simply fried dough. The chana is poured over the bara, and then you can have any topping that you want on top of it. Okay. Aloo pie is a similar fried dough with stuffed spicy potato, and I always usually get a bag of pilori when I get aloo pie at the same time. Sorry to interrupt, this is a quick ad break sponsored by me. That's me. If you're a fan of all this food, history, tales from the Caribbean, and you want to support the channel, then check out my new book, link below. All right, back to the video.
My father is Trinidad, my whole family is Trinidadian, right? The only thing...
I'm still too expensive. I'm still dear. Mr. I got a meat store. Mr. I go look here if we go put in my head.
Sound similar.
Now, to understand this diverse food and culture, we need to understand what or who makes up the Caribbean. Trinidad and Jamaica are both very diverse. Trinidad's national motto is, "Together we aspire, together we achieve." And Jamaica's is, "Out of many, we are one." Now, not to gloss over centuries of history, but in its simplest form, most of the Caribbean nations were inhabited by Amerindian tribes who moved around the Americans. Around the 1400s, when Spanish colonizers and settlers in search of riches arrived, they wiped out these indigenous tribes through war, genocide, and disease. Soon after these, more European forces, including the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch, and the British, wanted to take advantage of the crops like sugar, cocoa, and cotton. They turned to West Africa for exploitative labor, and as such, the transatlantic slave trade was born in the 1600s. This lasted all the way until around the 1900s, when the slave trade was abolished. Many European plantation owners were not happy about this and still wanted and needed labor to exploit, so they turned to the other countries they had colonized. For the British, who controlled Jamaica and Trinidad, this was overwhelmingly indentured laborers from India and also from China, who filled in. After generations of riots about the poor.
Okay, because I was going to ask, but I guess I kind of already knew the answer, but I forgot about that. I was going to ask, because Trinidad has a big Indian population, who were the indentured servants who went to Jamaica? But it's the Chinese that went there. Because there's a big population. And I think we only come to know that a couple years ago because our pastor was from Jamaica, and she was half, her dad and her mom was Chinese. So.
Well, just to rewind a little bit as well, them people coming over just to get mad at them because they had other fruits that they didn't have, and getting mad and want to fight them for it and try to, it's not adding up, bro. It's not.
Working conditions, it was disbanded. In the wake of this, both countries eventually gained independence, and the people you see today in the Caribbean are a result of all of this. The key difference being that much more Indian people ended up in Trinidad and Guyana and Suriname compared to Jamaica, and is very clearly seen in the food and the culture and the music, and also things like religion. For the main religions in both countries are influenced by the different people who came. With Trinidad having a higher number of Indian descendants, the presence of Hinduism is seen across the nation, with many beautiful mandir temples across the country and unmissable events in the year like Holi, the Festival of Colors, and Diwali. Given that both nations are overwhelmingly Christian, arguably a legacy of the Europeans in the region. In fact, some sources say that Jamaica has the most churches per capita in the entire world. That being said, you'll also find many beautiful mosques and Jewish synagogues, which many people I don't think are aware exist in the Caribbean. Also, you have the Rastafari culture, which exists in small parts in Trinidad, but mainly in Jamaica where it originated, and is comparably more popular there. In Jamaica, there are communes all over the island, which you can see in some of my older videos. These all hold many ceremonies across the year that people outside the community are welcome to enjoy and see for themselves, and I highly recommend this if possible. By now, you can't have missed the stunning scenery of the Caribbean. All of the Caribbean to me is beautiful, both town and country. Each corner, each hilltop and valley is special, and it will take hundreds of years to fully explore one island, let alone the whole entire region. As Jamaica is mainly driven by tourism, it has an abundance of spots. Just in St. Anne's Parish alone, you have Duns River, Little Duns River, Blue Hole, and White River. Trinidad itself doesn't have much tourism in the same way Jamaica does, but Tobago, its sister island, has it in abundance. Here too you have natural beauty like Castaro waterfalls, in addition to endless breathtaking views and gleaming beaches. That's not to say that Trinidad doesn't have its own natural beauty, which we'll talk about in a second. In Port Antonio, probably my favorite part of Jamaica, you have Blue Lagoon, a small hidden spot where the water is so blue and clean, you could literally read right through it. Now, like I said, in Trinidad, there are tons of hidden off the beaten track wonders, like the small town of Moruga to the south of the island that has some great local vibes and relaxing beaches. Then you have the Chagaramas boardwalk to the northwest of the island. South of Port of Spain, you have some more famous tourist attractions like the Coroni Swamp Bird Sanctuary, where you can see the most stunning array of birds and wildlife while riding through on a boat. In Jamaica, you have the Blue Mountains, where you have the most amazing views over the hills in Kingston. In Trinidad, you have the Northern Range, where once you cross over, you end up on the north coast. Here you'll find the lush green of Paramin, known for its green seasoning, and Trinidad's famous Maracas Beach, a long stretch of beautiful beach lined with alive tropical trees. Given this said, I actually prefer Las Cuevas a tiny bit, which is just a short drive on.
A nice water too.
So in conclusion of the scenery, no matter where you go, Jamaica or the Trinidad or another Caribbean country, you're going to have a good time. Bring your bathing suit. Or do they call them bathing suits? Swimsuit.
Jersey.
Swimsuit. Jersey.
Jersey, ain't it?
I don't remember.
Oh, I think it's jersey.
Is it? I thought it was a sweater. Sweater is
a sweater. No.
Yeah. Well, bring your two-piece.
Bring that thing to make that, and go have fun.
Bring that thing.
Work it.
Work it.
The sounds of nature in the Caribbean are incredible, but there's no scenery in the Caribbean without music.
Right.
Music is everywhere. I said food is life, but so is music. In the shops, in supermarkets, in taxis, petrol stations, and of course on the street. Music's everywhere. People are known to enjoy loud music all hours of the day and night. The history of music in the Caribbean is deep enough for another video. A lot of modern music in Trinidad and Jamaica has its roots in African rhythms brought over by the enslaved people. In the early 1900s, mento, which was popular in Jamaica, and calypso music in Trinidad. Early pioneers in Trinidad, like Attila the Hun and Tiger, were followed by the likes of Kitchener, Sparrow, and Calypso Rose. Also, during this time, the Indian indentured workers who were brought to Trinidad and Jamaica had a significant influence on the music of these islands. They brought with them traditional Indian music, like the emotive devotional songs known as bhajans, as well as folk music like chutney. In the 1970s, Trinidad saw the rise of soca music, a fusion of all of Trinidad's cultures. It was faster and more upbeat and quickly became a staple of Trinidad's carnival. To this day, soca music continues to evolve. Now, in Jamaica, early forms of music like mento evolved into ska, and in the 1970s, this saw the rise of reggae music and its most iconic figure, Bob Marley. While he blazed the path for the music around the world, there's still so many other legendary people who also contributed to the development of the sound. In the 1980s, forms of reggae music evolved into dancehall, which today continues to be one of the most popular types of sound in Jamaica and across the whole region. All this being said, the music blends across the region, and you're very likely to hear bashment and reggae music in Trinidad as you are to hear sounds of calypso and soca often in Jamaica. Now, while you're likely to hear all these types of sounds at a bashment, a lime, a fete, or a rave, these are all fun, but absolutely nothing beats carnival. This is where the music of the Caribbean comes alive. In the Caribbean, the idea of carnival, which closely mirrors what we know today, began as a celebration amongst the enslaved Africans. While the European settlers held their own balls and celebrations, from which the Africans were excluded, these people created their own means of celebration, which included various cultural rituals, music, and dances. Many historians depict that Africans were drawn to the Islamic festivals of Hosei and Tajah, as well as Hindu events like Holi, which all blend together to make the carnival we see today. Now, Jamaica has always had small carnivals and traditions like John Canoe, and since the 1950s it has an emerging road carnival that was created by people looking to recreate the Trini spirit. But except it's something like Rio Carnival in Brazil, I don't know if anything can match carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. The freedom, the spirit, the happiness, the unity, all the events, is all unmatched. Some people prefer to have their favorite days, like carnival on Monday and Tuesdays. Some people like to wake up super early in the morning for Juve, and other people like to stay up late into the night for the big concerts. And many other people I know do both every single day, on and on. There's so much going on. It's basically a rave for the whole entire month. And I think this is something that everyone should enjoy at minimum once in their lives. Now, for all its beauty, I know that things in the Caribbean aren't perfect.
Tobago has recorded its 8th move
in a state of public emergency.
1003. And the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service suffered.
And there are many...
Okay. Now, usually, people don't include the crime. So I got to respect him for this. You know, especially here on the channel, we like to highlight the good stuff about everywhere. We always hear about bad stuff. There's bad stuff in the United States. There's bad stuff in our home state, you know.
Right.
But we try to show the good of...
That's bad stuff in your refrigerator.
In your refrigerator. Go clean your refrigerator out. So I respect him for not only showing the good, but showing the bad as well.
Right. The whole mask, right? Because people couldn't be blindsided behind the glam.
Exactly.
And then trip right into that wrong environment and then have a terrible experience that make him never want to come back. So I'm glad that he's, as well as you said, highlighting it.
Because you know what? Just today, I was scrolling on social media and I came across a post about a lady from the diaspora who visited Ghana, and she had a rant, like she was upset about I can't believe that, you know, y'all go to Ghana and y'all sell people dreams. I was just there. I had a bad experience.
Oh wow.
You know, talking about just everything. Just it wasn't all glitz and glam as, you know, the Go Back to Africa movement was sold to her. And my what I concluded from that is she went there with the expectation that it was, you know, essentially what they sold was, you know, just to go back and be a part of your people and a part of your culture. But she went there with a closed mindset. She went there thinking that it was going to be just glamorous. At the end of the day, it's a country. It's not going to be like your home country. It's not negative. You can't go there expecting to get what you have at home. You know, it's a whole nother country. Yes, they do have luxury. They have those things, but it's just she went there with the wrong mindset. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. She
probably didn't exercise her ability to see what was actually going on. She just probably went out there because she had an opportunity to, and she was like, "Oh, how about I just do this today?"
Right.
And sometimes some people do, you know, handle situations like that, and it can come off as wrong. But yeah, if you want to do anything, do it right. Do your research, see what's available. Try to put yourself into the time frame of what's happening now, and your experience. You make your experience. Don't let nobody try to make your experience out to be what it was.
And don't be naive.
Yeah, don't be naive.
Like crime is everywhere. I don't care what. I've said this on the channel before, and people have came at me like, "No, crime is not everywhere. Crime is everywhere."
Yeah, can't believe they say it's not everywhere.
Stop it,
man. I mean.
Stop.
You can look at nature. There ain't one entity of nature that doesn't be impacted by something that happened, right? And it could be as simple as an ant pile being hit by a lawnmower. You think they knew that lawnmower was supposed to be coming that way? No, they don't know it, right? The floods, anything.
It may not be as much crime, but it's everywhere.
It's somewhere. It's there.
Deeper issues that unfortunately I don't have time to go into this video, but I plan to in future ones. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a bit of fun, and of course it doesn't.
I like how he started it off with the food. The Caribbeans, they're all unique in their own way, so don't try to put them in a box.
Exactly.
Don't try to put them in a box. Thanks for the video though.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yes, y'all always send us some good videos. We really, really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed it with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel. Our reaction request link is in the description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.